Hello, I'm very fortunate today to be talking to Rita Rubenis, who did Cura Romana not just once, but 3 times. The first 2 on her own, and then the second as part of the Cura Romana Journey program. Hi.
Yes, hello, Leslie.
Tell me about how much weight did you lose on this last program, Rita?
On the last one of 11, I'll use pounds because I know you're familiar with pounds.
Okay.
I lost 11 pounds.
Fabulous.
Hmm?
And that was on the 24-day program, was it?
That's right. Yes, yes.
Fabulous. Okay. Now, tell me what was your greatest experience? You tell me a little bit briefly about how you did the programs before on your own.
Well, my girlfriend actually put me on to you. I've always been I know carbohydrates are bad and the sugars are bad. I've always been very healthy and I know that, but I found that anyway, my girlfriend, she'd lost 55 pounds.
Wow.
And she probably did it a couple of times, but she looked beautiful and she just felt vibrant. So I thought, well, I've got to do it. I've got to do it because I've always been fighting with my weight up and down all my life. But but the way she described it, it sounded, anyway, so I read the book and I did it on my own and I lost 17 pounds. The part that I liked was that it took the cravings away. That was the part that was so important, and also just the energy and just the feeling so good about life and and I mean that was a very important part. And of course, you have down times, and the second time I think I had to do it again because I wanted my sister to do it with me because I felt so good. Now my sister is 335 pounds. So I went and stayed with her. As soon as I'd finished the first program, I went and stayed with her because I wanted to be there for her, to do it with her because I know she has a hard life. So anyway, she did it and then I left, and in the end she lost 75 pounds.
Fabulous.
Doing it on your program. And again, she just felt fantastic, lots of energy. Even though she still has a lot to lose, she had lots of energy. She did that in 4 months, actually, that 75 pounds. And she could walk again because before she couldn't even walk. Wow. Down the supermarket. So she could join me, into the supermarket, and she didn't have any aches and pains. She didn't have any headaches. She tried it again on her, because she was just feeling a lot better. Second time she did it on her own again, but she only lost, she says, only 14 pounds. So I don't know what she did wrong. Not wrong, but she lives in the middle of a cemetery, so it's a bit depressing. She's a caretaker there, so her life is very well. Anyway, she needs a lot of help. So I did again myself because I'd put on a bit again. I think whatever happens. So this time I lost the 11 pounds with you, and again I just realised that's the way I like to be. Is just this vibrant and energetic in the morning, and as soon as you do something wrong, and I don't have the sugar cravings, although it's very hard to fight the friends always. You've got to have, you've got to enjoy life, and I'm thinking so I just that's how I am up to now.
Okay.
It's just,
Rita, what was the difference between you're doing Cura Romana on your own and you're doing the Cura Romana Journey program with us?
it's just you was just so motivating. Every time I'd listen to your voicemails back over and over again, and it was just the motivation there. Whereas when you're doing it on your own, especially in the consolidation, there's lots of little questions come up, and you think, sometimes I'll just turn this off, sorry. Sometimes you just want that quick answer, and sometimes you might be doing something wrong. Not wrong, but yeah. Anyway, so with you, what the big difference was that you were very motivating when I asked you, and I got the answers straight away. It was easier for me to do the program.
I think it's important that people don't feel alone when they're doing it. And of course, the Cura Romana Journey program is really quite different than the Cura Romana Weight Loss Plan book, following it by the book. Fundamentally, they are the same, but we've developed the program so much further since then. And I always am striving to make it better, easier to use, more graceful, etc., etc. So I'm pleased that you had that experience. What did you have hunger throughout the program, or just at the beginning, or how was that?
Very interesting. The first time I did it on my own, I didn't have any hunger at all. But when I did it this time, actually with you, I think I mentioned it, I did get some hunger. But because in the meantime, I had really gone off the rails. I think I said I did my feast days probably for about 2 weeks. And I'll start. Anyway, I had too much sugar, I think, and maybe that was still in my body. Anyway, you suggested that I take the Candida Plus. So I started taking that, and it did seem to, because I had to wait for it to come from, I think, America's iHerb. So that helped a lot. See, these are little hints. Whereas if you struggle on your own, it's hard.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are a number of people that do have a bit of an overgrowth of yeast, i.e. Candida albicans, and it's pretty easy to tell, if you do, and by looking at your tongue, and it makes all the difference in the world. It really does, because people think that those cravings are themselves, and they think they're emotional. They're not. They're biological, and it is the yeasty beasties that are craving, not you, if you know what I mean. Yeah?
I have a doctor. I used to work for him for a while, but he's very into the alternative medicines. And so he used to do a Vega test on me, and that used to bring up too that I have this Candida in my body. So I knew from a long time that is, but then it was very hard. He used to put me on a sort of a healthy diet, but of course the cravings sometimes overcome, what is good for you. That's why with you, there's an explanation, and then there's a program you can follow, and it works. So that's what I liked. And with the support, it was just easier for me.
Good. Okay. How do you feel now, as opposed, both physically and emotionally, as opposed to before you did your last program with me?
Well, it's almost like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just hoping that this will stay with me. I just feel that I know my body. I know what it needs. I know how to treat myself now, because I feel good the way I am, even though probably I'd like to lose a few more. But then the wrinkles show up, I think, at my age. So I think I'm just happy the way I am, and just happy, just very happy.
Good. Did you feel you made any sort of a deeper connection with what I call your essential being, who you really are?
Yes. I think because my mother probably brought us up to think, oh, you better watch what other people say about you. I was very quiet. Well, I'm still a very quiet person in a way, but and maybe it's the age too. But I do feel more confident. I feel, look, doesn't matter what people think. I'm not a bad person. I should be able to say what I want and to do. And even to do this interview, I probably would have not done it before in the past, because I wouldn't be able to think clearly, because my brain would be saying, what does she think of me? What does she think of me? I was a teacher for 27 years, and I hated the staff rooms. I used to hate tutorials at college, because I hate speaking up, even though I was a teacher. I could speak in front of the class, I could speak in front of parents, but in front of my peers, I just always used to think, what will they think of me? But now, even in my other work that I've stopped work now, there's another big decision I've made in my life. So these life changes I've made now, because I feel confident about myself, and that was. That's what I can see I've done is, different to just the diet. I've made changes in my life, in yeah, and I do what I want to do more or less now.
Fabulous. That's great. What I think people don't quite get with Cura Romana is they think it's a slimming diet, which it is not. It is a program that brings about deep life transformation for people. And it's interesting you mentioned you think you've got a new direction with your work or you're not quite sure where you're going at, but that is so common, Ruta. And to me, that is what just fills me with joy to see people come more and more into their own power with a deep sense of respect for themselves and a sense of joy and fun.
Exactly. It is certainly joy and fun now.
Rita, thank you so much. I'm just so grateful to you for putting this time aside that we could speak. And yeah, and keep me posted as to what you do next, will you?
Definitely. And I said, you're just a great inspiration to, well, it's been to me and to my friend and sister who put me on. I mean, it's just marvelous. Yeah, just lovely. So
Thank you.
I've enjoyed the journey, definitely.
Well, it's a journey you're still on, so enjoy the rest as well.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Leslie.
you very much.